In an interview with a Hollywood Reporter, Jim Buss was asked about Dwight Howard. He admits he, quote, missed a page. Instead of talking to Dwight about staying in L.A., he just launched that Stay D12 campaign. You remember that. Adding after he had left, quote, he was never really a Laker. He was just passing through. Wow. He's just passing through. Stephen A., is there any truth to what Buss has said?
Well, I don't know whether there's any truth to it or not. I guess you could say it's true because Dwight Howard is presently a member of the Houston Rockets and he's no longer a Los Angeles Laker. I think the real question is whether or not his words about Dwight Howard are applicable to Dwight Howard or do they apply to Jim Buss himself? Because a legitimate argument could be made that he ain't really a Laker. His daddy is, his sister is, Kobe is, Mitch Kupchak is, John Black in media relations and his staff. They're Lakers because you got a whole bunch of people that have been Lakers for life that make a daily contribution to this franchise, as opposed to a dude who took over for his father, who was running the Lakers organization and was asleep at the wheel for the entire time. Not only when Dwight Howard arrived, but before he arrived. He was asleep at the wheel when his star, a five-time champion, a resident superstar, future Hall of Famer, one of the greatest players ever, and Kobe Bryant, wanted Brian Shaw. He hires Mike Brown. You know, they wanted Phil Jackson. He hires Mike D'Antoni. You know that Dwight Howard is approaching free agency. Do you take him out for a visit? No. Do you invite him over to the crib? No. Do you smooth with him and try to coax him into staying and selling the Lakers franchise in the future moving forward? No. A matter of fact, from what I'm told, there were various games when the team was playing at the Staples Center, and Jim Buss was down the block hanging somewhere, watching the game. Wasn't even in there. Don't even get me started as to how often he's in his office, and he's not in his office. So when we talk about a Laker, when we talk about what it means to be a member of Laker Nation, when we talk about this tradition that includes 16 world championships, one of the most storied franchises in all of sports annals, and we think about the history, the tradition, the cachet that was built by Dr. Buss with Jerry West assistants and ultimately Mitch Kupchak, who gets in the way? Who has gotten in the way? It has been Jim Buss. This is the dude that's got the nerve to talk about somebody else instead of looking in the mirror. It's mind-boggling to me that he says it, but even more mind-boggling to me that a nation of Laker fans have allowed this man to get away with it. And just before anybody is questioning it, I'm not saying anything I wouldn't say to the man's face. I've requested an interview on numerous occasions. Last time I checked, Skip, he's still hiding. He's still hiding. You understand? I'm playing around. Like I told you, I'm playing around when I'm talking about Jerry Jones. I know what a great owner he is in terms of a businessman. I'm just not a Cowboy fan. But I'm dead serious when I'm talking about Jim Buss. He is an accident that has happened over and over again, and he is in the way of the Lakers. It is that simple.
Okay, I don't disagree with any point you just made. But you used this question as yet another springboard to excoriate Jim Buss. And I'm great with that. But if I may go back to the essence of that remark, what was it? He was never really a Laker. That's it. That's the essence of what we're talking about. Yeah. That is dead on correct. Dwight Howard was never made of Laker stuff. Now, I'm talking about the Lakers of Jerry West and Elgin Baylor, and the Lakers of Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and the Lakers of Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant. I'm talking about those Lakers, some of which you grew up with, Kerry Champion. But in this case, if you were going to bank on Dwight Howard to become, post-Kobe, the face of the franchise, to put that franchise on his very broad shoulders, no, not the right guy, not made of the right intangible stuff. So what he said, again, maybe it's a convenient excuse, a convenient out for him. If I just deal with the essence of those words within the two quote marks, exactly right. And Dwight knew it in his heart of hearts, which is why he is now a Houston Rocket.
You could say he knew it in his heart of hearts, but when did he know, Skip? Did he know it before he arrived in L.A.? Maybe not. Maybe he knew it once. Maybe he knew it once he got there, and he saw what he would have to be working with.
Yes,
that's my point.
Okay, maybe.
That's my point.
Okay,
Doctor.
Yeah, I get it, but I'm just talking about what's inside of Dwight was not made for Laker Nation to be.
Skip.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Is it possible, Skip, that if Dr. Buss was alive, God rest his soul,
I know where you're going,
and he sat up there and he had Dwight Howard,
no,
and he could have a conversation with Dwight Howard and what have you. Is that possible? Remember, Skip, even though I am in no way comparing Dwight Howard to the Black Mamba because that's a different breed.
Thank you.
Kobe Bryant was very, very serious about going to Chicago once he was a free agent and taking on the challenge of resurrecting the Jordan era and establishing his own.
Mm-hmm.
And he contemplated the Clippers as well. What I'm saying to you is that you sit down with Dr. Buss and that man looked you in the face and said, everything's going to be all right. We got this. You believe and you become something you didn't even know you could become because Dr. Buss convinced you that he had your back as the patriarch of the Los Angeles Lakers franchise. His son to come in here and to be as laissez-faire and nonchalant and not nearly as committed to a level of excellence that we have become spoiled by. Kerry Champion knows what I'm talking about here. That is directly Jim Buss. That is an indictable offense. That is an indictable offense because you ain't just his successor, Skip. You're his son.
Okay,
and you're dropping the ball like this.
Bottom line.
Come on.
Bottom line, you cannot teach intangibles. Dr. Buss could not instill intangibles in a Dwight Howard who is low on them. You're either born with them or you're not. You're born to be the next Kobe, not in performance, but just in stature, or you're not. And he was not born to be that guy.
Wait a minute, Skip. Far be it for me to be blasphemous or sacrilegious in this, but considering that you are so much older than me, I'm surprised you missed this. Wilt Chamberlain, as great as he was, arguably the most dominant big man of our lifetime, there were certain intangibles he didn't have.
No doubt.
There's a reason.
Did I mention it? I said Jerry West and Elgin Baylor's Lakers. I didn't say Wilt's Lakers.
Let me finish. There's a reason Bill Russell had 11 titles.
Yeah.
And Wilt Chamberlain had 2.
Because he owned that guy. Yeah.
Well, let me finish my point. My point to you is that the discrepancy in those titles. Clearly, Wilt was missing something. It didn't stop him from being a Laker. You had other parts around him.
Yeah.
Dwight Howard may not be everything you wanted him to be. But he didn't need to, Skip, in order to be a Laker. If you had the parts around him, if you're Jim Buss, and you make sure the pieces around him are in place, whether it's a Kobe and a Phil Jackson and stuff like that, maybe, just maybe, you don't need him to be anything more than what he is. That's my point.
Okay, but he was about to be the Laker in salary and stature because Kobe's not going to play forever. So if he signed for the next 5 years, at some point, you would be building or rebuilding around Dwight Howard? No.
No, Skip. The Lakers, as of the season after this upcoming one, has all the cap room in the world.
Okay,
so if Kobe was there with Dwight, then Kobe's leaving, but you have cap space to bring somebody else with Dwight.
Okay.